Good morning, class 9 students. I welcome you again on our online classes. Today we are going to complete our unit 3, that is we are going to do the last topic of our chapter, which is mole concept. This topic is quite interesting, okay? So let's start today's class. Our today's class topic is mole concept. This is for class 9th. Chapter 3, okay, atoms and molecules, which we were dealing about. So this is our last topic. This is quite interesting. This is somewhat numerical based. This is not at all theoretical that we have to learn the definitions and all. It is application based, that is you will be given some questions in exams like related to you have to find the mass or the number of particles and you have to find moles. So let's first understand what do you actually mean by the topic mole concept. Mole concept means we are finding the moles. You know from the name of the topic that we are finding the moles. So what does this mole means? What do you mean by the term moles? So let's start our topic that you know we have given certain fixed name and when there are certain fixed amount of quantity. What I am saying is, you know, if I write here I have 1 dozen substance, I have 1 dozen pens, then what does 1 dozen means? 1 dozen means you have 12 articles or 12 substances. That is, we have fixed a word dozen symbolizing 12. The articles which are present 12 in number is represented by the word dozen. If I write I have 3 dozen substance or 3 dozen articles, what does this mean? This means that dozen stands for the word 12. So 3 dozen means 12 into 3, which gives us a total of 36 articles or 36 commodities. Understood? So this is what we have fixed the word mole in one sense. Okay, let's try another word. One word here is gross. If I say I have 1 gross of some certain substance, then what do I mean? I mean that gross means if you are having 144 substances with you, then instead of saying that you have 144 substance, you can easily say I have 1 gross. And if I write I have 2 gross, then it would be quite clear if you multiply this 144 with 2, which would give you 488. If you have 488 substances, then you need not to say that I have 488 things. You can easily say I have 2 gross things, okay? Similar is the unit. So these are the units of number. In this, we are telling what? We are telling the number of substances with us. These units are based on numbers. And the next thing which we study is that mass. We can classify any articles, the quantity of articles according to the number or according to the mass, okay? What we studied just now was, you can classify the quantity of any substance. You can classify or categorize the substance as per the quantity. And to show the quantity you have, you can show it by 2 different methods. Either you can say the number of particles you have, okay? You can say how many substance you have on the basis of number of particles, or you can show it by mass, the mass of substance you have. So this is the first category which I discussed recently, that is on the basis of the number of particles you have, you can write the words dozen. Dozen symbolizes 12 articles and gross symbolizes 144 articles. The number of articles would be 144. Now we are doing our second category, that is about mass. So how can you write mass? It's quite simple. This you have already done in your junior classes. You write various units like kg, okay, or grams. So you know 1 kg particle, if I say I have 1 kg of sugar, then you will quite easily understand what do you mean by this 1 kg sugar. It's quite simple. But there is no fixed particle. That is, if I have 1 kg sugar and I have 1 kg of salt, the number of particles of sugar in 1 kg is not fixed. There are not any fixed number, that is I have 100 particles And in 1 kg salt, because the sugar or crystal of salt is somewhat smaller in size than an individual crystal of sugar, so you may get 250 or so particles. But this is all imaginary. You cannot count these numbers. You cannot count the number of particles in 1 kg sugar. Okay, we don't have that much time. So what I'm trying to say is, here the quantities of substance can be expressed in two factors, that is based on their numbers and based on the mass. If you are taking based on numbers, for example dozen, then dozen symbolizes that we have 12 articles or 12 substance with us. But this 12 need not mean having any particular mass. Let's suppose if I have 1 dozen of pens and I say I have 1 dozen apples. Yes, 1 dozen symbolizes that number of particles in both these things are what? 12. But the mass is not constant. We have no relation to link our number with the mass. Mass of 1 dozen pens may be some grams, but the mass of 1 dozen apples would be in kilograms. 1 dozen apple would mean about 1 to 1.5 kg in total, whereas 1 dozen pens may be 400 to 500 grams. So we didn't have any quantity or any aspect by which we can link the number of substance with their mass. Okay, for discussing the mass of substance, we have different units like kgs, grams, etc. We have many units, but these units do not symbolize how many particles can be present in it. Same mass of substance, that is 1 kg and 1 kg of different substance, can have different number of particles, and it is also not fixed that we have same mass of the same substance, then also we might have the same number of particles. I'll explain this concept within very good example. Let's say I have 1 kg of sugar in one packet, and in the next packet also I have 1 kg of sugar. The substance here is same, that is I have sugar in both the cases whose mass is 1 kg, but the number of particles may be different. There is no same number of particles or different number of particles. Let's suppose 1 kg sugar which I brought from shop A has 250 particles of sugar or crystals of sugar. But this 1 kg sugar which I brought from another shop, let's say B, contains 500 particles. And yes, this is quite possible. If you try to count the number of particles, that is the number of sugar crystals, you will obtain different particles. So what I am trying to say is, there is no relation as such till now by which we can relate both the aspects of our particle, that is by which we can relate the number of particles with its mass. There is nothing that if I say I have 1 dozen, then 1 dozen will have 12 particles. Okay, this number is fixed, but the mass of 1 dozen is not fixed. The mass of 1 dozen for different substance varies accordingly. It is different for different substance, just as we discussed recently. So in 1 dozen we have the number fixed, that is 12 number of articles, but we do not have any fixed mass. Mass is not fixed. Similarly, describing what we have is kg. If you take 1 kg of any particle, yes, the mass is already same or the mass is fixed, but the number of particles does not remain fixed. So in chemistry, after much experimentation, a concept was derived, and it is called mole concept. And a commodity or a physical quantity which came into existence was the word mole. So this is so very interesting. This mole word means that if you take 1 mole of any substance, if you have 1 mole of any substance, then 1 mole of any substance would have a fixed mass and the fixed number of particles. Yes, let's see. 1 mole of any substance will show a fixed mass and it will show a fixed number of particles. So in chemistry, after much experimentation, this interesting research was found out that 1 mole of any substance has a fixed mass and it has fixed number of particles. The number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance, yes, the number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance is equals to 1 mole in the terms of particles, or I must write number of particles. If I am expressing 1 mole in the terms of number of particles, then I would get 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. So if you take 1 mole of any substance, okay, then how many particles you would get? You would get these particles, and this number is known as your Avogadro number. This is Avogadro number. Let's suppose I'll give you an easy example. If I take 1 mole of sodium, because in chemistry we are dealing with chemicals, so I am taking 2 chemical compounds. I am first taking 1 mole of sodium. If I say how many particles are present in 1 mole of sodium, if you have 1 mole of sodium, then the number of particles are quite easy. We discussed it just recently that the number of particles in 1 mole of any substance is fixed, and the number of particles will be 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. These would be the number of particles which are present in 1 mole of any substance. If I write, can you tell me the number of particles in 1 mole of CO2 gas? Yes, you would say it's quite simple, ma'am. The number of particles in 1 mole of CO2, because you are dealing with particles, and in 1 mole the number of particles remain fixed. So the number of particles would be 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Okay. Can you find the number of particles? This I am giving you a question. If you have understood the concept, you can easily attempt it. Okay. Find the number of particles in 2 moles of NaCl. NaCl is your common salt or table salt. Sodium chloride. Its IUPAC name is sodium chloride and its common name is common salt or the table salt which we use. So can you find the number of particles present in 2 moles of NaCl? Remember, there are 2 moles and you have to find the total number of particles in 2 moles. Yes, if you know the answer, you can attempt it. You can pause the video and solve it and then check if you got it correct. Okay, let's solve this. The answer to this question will be very simple. I know that in 1 mole of any substance, here the substance given is NaCl. In 1 mole of NaCl, the number of particles remain fixed. So the number of particles would be 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. And here I have how many moles? I have 2 moles. So if in 1 mole you have these particles, then in 2 moles of NaCl, what you do? You simply multiply this number with 2. So in 2 moles of NaCl, the number of particles which you will obtain is 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. And what would be the answer? On multiplying 2 with this number, you get 12.044 into 10 raised to the power 23. Okay, just simply multiply this 2 with this number and this power or exponential term remains the same. So what you get 6 into 2 is 12 and 4. Then you get 12.044 into 10 raised to the power 23 particles. So this was, I hope, a very quite simple question, that is you had to find the number of particles in 2 moles. If I write find the number of particles in 5 moles of any substance, let's say water. 5 moles of water contain how many substances? Yes, you will say if 1 mole of water contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 substance, then 5 moles of water would have 5 into this number and you will get the answer. Now what we are discussing, that the number of particles in 1 mole is equals to 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. Okay, these are very large number of particles. If I write it simply, what I would get is, I would get the number 6.022. If you do not want to write this power expression, I want to tell you that these 1 mole of particles are very large in number. If you write it in the expanded or the normal form without this power, you would get this number and you have to put 20 zeros behind it. This would be a total of 20 zeros. So now you can imagine, if you were confused with this exponential form, I hope now you will imagine that the number of particles in 1 mole of substance is quite large. Yes, because the number of particles is, this is 6022, then 000 up to 20 zeros you have to put below this, behind this number. So this we can't write everywhere and do the calculations. So we have expressed this large number in the form of exponents, okay, exponential or power form. So always remember, this is not a small number, it is a huge number. That is 1 mole of particles contain a large, 1 mole of substance contain large number of particles. So this was 1 mole in the terms of number of particles. Now this number is also known as Avogadro number. Avogadro number is what? The number of particles present in 1 mole. Avogadro number, it shows the number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance, okay. If you get a short question related to Avogadro number, what you have to write? Avogadro number, it is the number which shows the number of particles present in 1 mole of any substance. Here, then the second point would be, this is your first point, the second point is, it has a fixed value. The value of Avogadro number is fixed, that is, it has a fixed value. And the value of Avogadro number, you have to write it in the third point, that is, Avogadro number is equals, Avogadro number, it is denoted by the symbol capital N and small a written in the subscript. So the symbol of Avogadro number is Na, okay, it is also represented by Na. And the value, the fourth point, that is value of Na would be 6, which we are using in our questions, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. And I told you why we write this number in the power or exponential form, because it has a very large value and we can't everywhere write this large value, okay. So we write its value in the exponential form, and you can remember it that you have 6.022 and after 22 you have to put 23 in the power. So this was a short trick and you can remember, this is a quite simple number, you have to remember this. So this is what Avogadro number means. Avogadro number shows the number of particles which are present in 1 mole. Avogadro number is the number of particles which are present in 1 mole of any substance. Then it has a fixed value. Always the value of Avogadro number is fixed. It is denoted by the symbol Na, and the last point, the value of Na, which we wrote that it is a fixed value. Then what is the fixed value? It is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. So this was all about Avogadro number, and this was the introduction of moles in the terms of particles. Okay, we are studying the heading moles under two things. Moles we are discussing under two subheadings, that is, the first was based on number of particles. This we already discussed. Now we will start the definition of moles based on mass of substance or mass of particle. First we studied according to the number, then we are now studying according to the mass. So what we say is 1 mole of any substance has a mass which is equal to its gram atomic mass, or you can say 1 mole of any substance has a mass which is equals to its gram molecular weight or gram molecular mass. So for determining the mass of 1 mole, we have two concepts, that is the mass of 1 mole of anything has a mass equals to its gram atomic mass or equal to the gram molecular mass of the substance present or the given substance. This gram atomic mass term we use for elements, and the term gram molecular mass is used for compounds. We have already discussed in the previous chapter what do you mean by the term elements and compounds. When same type of atom combine together, they form elements. Okay? When same type of atoms join together or combine together, we get element as our product. And when different types of atoms combine together, and remember they combine together in a fixed ratio. When they combine together in a fixed ratio, we call it a compound. So for referring the mass of elements, we use the term gram atomic mass, and for denoting the mass of compounds, we use the term gram molecular mass. So 1 mole of anything is equals to, in the terms of mass I am discussing, 1 mole of anything is equal to the gram atomic mass or the gram molecular mass of that substance. Clear? Let's deal with an example. If I say find number of moles, or let's say find number of particles. Find the number of particles in 1 mole of NaCl or the sodium chloride. So how many particles are present in 1 mole of NaCl? So how you would solve it? I already told you that according to the number, 1 mole of any substance contains a given number of particles or the fixed number of particles. And the number of particles is equal to what? It is equal to our Avogadro number. And the value of Avogadro number is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. So 1 mole of NaCl or 1 mole of any compound will contain 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. And dealing with the mass, if I say find the Okay, first we'll discuss some formulas, that is 2 formulas by which we can solve the problems or the numericals based on mole concept. So the formulas which we have are, now coming to the formulas of mole concept, you have to remember only 2 formulas, and by that 2 formulas you can solve any given question. Okay, no need to remember much formulas, it would be quite confusing. So the first formula is number of moles according to the mass. If you have to find, then it would be given mass of the substance upon molar mass of that substance. So this is the first formula to find the number of moles on the basis of mass. So number of moles is equals to given mass upon molar mass. Number of moles is denoted by small n. Then given mass you can denote by the small m alphabet, and molar mass is denoted by capital M. So as per the formula, what you get is number of moles is equal to given mass upon molar mass. So this is our first formula to find the number of moles. The next formula to find the number of moles according to the number of particles. Number of moles by using the number of particles is given number of particles upon Avogadro number. So this makes our formula to find the number of particles or the number of moles relating to number of particles. Now these are the two formulas, and we'll discuss some numerical problems based on these two concepts. The first one is find number of moles in 52 grams of helium. Okay, because we are given the mass in the question, then you have to use the formula which we discussed earlier, that is the formula of mass. If you are given the mass of any substance and you have to find the moles, the formula is number of moles is equal to given mass upon molar mass. So this formula we are going to use in the question. We have to find the number of moles. Okay, number of moles के लिए we have two formulas, and for this, because mass is given 52 grams, so we are using our previous formula, that was the first formula. So the answer to this question would be number of moles is equals to given mass upon molar mass. So this is what the formula of moles is. You have to find the number of moles. So let's write number of moles as small n. Then you have the given mass in the question, which is 52 grams. The value of given mass is 52 grams. And the molar mass of helium. Molar mass, I already discussed that it is equal to gram atomic mass or the gram molecular mass. This term means that molar mass is equal to the atomic or molecular mass. You just have to change the unit. Atomic and molecular mass we write in the unit U, that is the mass of helium. The atomic mass of helium is 4 unit. We discussed in the topic atomic mass, formula, unit masses and molecular masses. So the atomic mass of helium is 4 unit. If I want to write the molar mass, then it would be the same, that is 4. Just in the case that unit U is here, I have to replace with the unit grams. So the molar mass of helium would be 4 grams. Okay, so in this question, we'll use the value helium has a molar mass of 4 grams. So 52 divided by 4. If you divide this, then you get the number of moles as 13. The answer would be, so you have 13 moles of helium present in 52 grams of helium. I hope this question is clear to you. How we did it, that we have to find the number of moles. For finding the number of moles, you have two formulas. Either you can find the number of moles based on mass, or you can find the number of moles based on the number of particles. Here, as we were given the mass, so we use the first formula. Number of moles will be equal to given mass upon molar mass. This you have to find. Given mass is given in the question, that is 52 grams. And the molar mass, how we calculate molar mass? Molar mass means the same mass, that is atomic and molecular mass. Just you have to replace the unit U with the unit grams. And I have already discussed in the previous video lectures the atomic masses and the molecular masses of substance. Atomic masses I have discussed in a table form, which I have told you from the atomic number 1 to atomic number 20. And to find the molecular mass, what you do? You add all the atoms present in your given molecule. That is, if you have to find the molecular mass of HCl, or if you have to find the molecular mass of water, what you do? You add all the mass of atoms. Here you have 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The mass of 1 atom of oxygen is 16. And the mass of 2 atoms of hydrogen would be 2. 2 plus 16, if we add these both, then the total mass of water would be 18. So if a question is asked, find the number of moles in any given amount of water, then the given mass you will put here in the above equation, and the molar mass for water would be 18 grams. So molar mass is similar to atomic or molecular mass, just you have to write the unit in the last grams. Okay, do not write U here. Unified mass unit we do not use for molar masses. Now we'll discuss a next question, that is find the number of moles. The last question which we discussed was based on number or mass. Now we are discussing about particles. If you are given, find the number of moles in, let's say, 12.022 or 12.044 into 10 raised to the power 23 particles of helium. So if this question is given, then how you will solve it? This is a very easy question if you have understood the concepts clearly. Okay, you can very easily attempt it. What we have to find is, you have to find the number of moles, and now you are given what? Mass or particles? We are given the number of particles. So we'll use our second formula to find the number of moles, and our formula was number of moles is equal to given number of particles divided by Avogadro number. So using this formula, I hope you can easily find the mass. Let's see how. Number of moles is represented by small n. Then given number of particles, given number means the number of particles given in the question. So here which value will come? Here we have to write the number of particles given in the question. So the value would be 12.044 into 10 raised to the power 23. And you know the value of Avogadro number is fixed. Avogadro number is denoted by the symbol Na, and its value is fixed. Na is equals to 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. If you solve this out, you will get the number of moles. We are easily able to see that the powers get cancelled, or the exponents are cancelled. Now what we have, these two numbers on dividing, you get 2 here. So you can say the number of moles present are 2. So the number of moles present in 12.044 into 10 to the power 23 particles of helium is 2. We have 2 moles. And if you are asked find the number of particles in 3.011 given particles, then you will get the number of moles as 1 by 2. That is, these particles of helium would be present in half moles of helium, but 12.044 particles are present in 2 moles of helium. If you want to get these given number of particles, then you have to take 2 moles of helium gas. So this was the questions and how you have to solve the questions. You have to solve the questions using 2 approaches. That is, see that if you have to find the number of moles, what relation is given? Either you will be given the number of particles, or you will be given what? The mass of the particles. And we have discussed the 2 formulas using the number of particles and the given mass. You can apply the appropriate formula and you will easily get the correct answers. Now let's discuss some problems given in your NCERT books. A question is given that find the number of particles in 100 grams of sodium. The question is, find the number of particles in 100 grams sodium or Na. So how would you find this? You are given to find number of particles here and the formula of particles. Let's first write our formula. We said that if you want to find the number of moles, one formula which you have is given mass upon molar mass. And the next formula which you have is given number of particles upon Avogadro number. So these are the 2 formulas you have to find the number of moles. But here it is somewhat different question. You have to find the number of particles present in 100 gram Na. This we'll solve using the unitary method. Okay? Unitary method you all have studied in your junior classes. Indirect and inverse variation, we use unitary methods. Unitary method means, let's solve and see what does unitary method means. We have in 1 mole of sodium, I would have how many particles? In 1 mole of sodium, I will have 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, that is Na particles. And 1 mole sodium means how much mass of sodium? I said the mass, atomic mass of sodium is 23 units. Then its molar mass would be 23 grams. Then we see 1 mole of sodium means 23 grams of sodium. So the number of particles in 1 mole 23 grams sodium is Na particles, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. If I want to find the number of particles in 1 gram of sodium, then the number of particles in 1 gram would be Na divided by this 23. And this here, the approach which I am using is called unitary method. This is what we have, unitary method. That is to find the particles in 1 gram of substance. Unitary, this unit word means 1. So if you find the particles or anything in the 1 unit of substance, then we use the method called unitary. So here we said that the number of particles in 1 gram of sodium would be Na divided by 23. And we are asked to find in 100 grams. So in 100 grams of sodium, how many particles you will have? This is the number of particles in 1 gram. In 100 gram, you just multiply this with 100. So you get Na divided by 23 multiplied by 100 grams. If you will solve out this, you will easily get the number of particles present in 100 grams of sodium. So this was an important question which was given in your NCERT books. Okay, I hope you understood this. What we did is, we'll revise. We said that we have 2 formulas for finding the moles. One formula is moles is equal to given mass upon molar mass. This formula is based on mass. And if you are given the number of particles, the formula is given number of particles upon Avogadro number. But for this question, we used a new concept, that was the unitary method. We said that if 100 gram, we said that 1 mole of sodium contains how many particles? You know 1 mole of anything contains Na number of particles, 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. And 1 mole of sodium has how much mass? You know the atomic mass of sodium is 23 unit. So 1 mole of sodium, the molar mass would be 23 grams. So 23 grams of sodium will contain Avogadro number of particles. Following this method, 1 gram of sodium will contain Na divided by 23 particles. And to find the number of particles in the given amount of sodium, you find the amount in 1 gram and then multiply it with the given quantity, that is 100. On solving this, you will get the answer of number of particles which are present in 100 grams of sodium. Now this was all about the mole concepts and some numericals which we saw for the mole concept. There are many important examples that are given in your books, and then you have many questions as the in-text question, the blue ones, and at the last, at the back of the chapter. So do practice all the questions. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so this we have completed with your chapter 3. Thank you.